This is part 29 of our Let's Play series for Breath of the Wild, and this part we'll be cooking up some fruit elixirs. Actually, the title is fruit elixirs, so
Yeah.
we really don't do a lot if elixirs is in the title of the part. But
Exactly.
anyways, after we cook up some fruit elixirs, we'll actually run to our first mini-boss, Stone Talus, which we kind of decide, or Red decides at that time, that it's not really the proper time to fight Stone Talus.
Nope, I
And then
run
so
away
we do
like a coward.
retreat, and then we use our Magnesis on a Bokoblin camp to kind of do some sweet damage on them.
Now, in general, anytime you come across the mini bosses, they are some of the toughest fights in the game.
Agreed.
In my opinion, I believe you agree with this. They're even tougher, or some of them are even tougher than the dungeon bosses we run into. So, but the flip side is the rewards you get when you defeat them are really
Yes.
good. I know when you kill a Lionel, you usually get some great weapons and shields. When you kill a Talus, you get amazing, you get the gems. You get a ton of gems. So they are worth fighting and killing, but at this point in the game, I just didn't think I was prepared.
Yeah.
So you'll see me run away like a coward, and I stand by that decision.
I did that playing this game, either shrines where I was like, you know what, I can't figure this out right now, I'm leaving,
Yeah.
or as enemies, like you kind of talk about, that I skipped so many mini bosses in the beginning of the game. Like, you know me, I'm a progressive guy, I don't have a lot of patience. I was like, you know what, this guy, he can't give me that much. He's just in my way. I'm just going to run past him, and because I don't like fighting regular enemies. So
Exactly.
why I want to fight a mini boss in the middle of field, I just was not about it. Now, later on in the game, I kind of did start doing it more, and as you said, you really do get some good stuff from them. So
You do.
I would highly recommend you find them, especially if you're trying to build materials for whatever you can use them for in this game. But early on, might not be the best idea when you don't have a lot of health.
And kind of a bit of a change of pace here. Normally, up to this point in the game, you see me when I'm making food or elixirs, it's been to restore health, just because
Yeah.
we have so few hearts at this point that it really is important. This time, you'll actually see me spending a little more time making food and elixirs that boost your attack and your defense, which, in my opinion, as you gain more and more hearts later on in the game, the boosts to your defense and attack are just so valuable. I remember, and you'll actually see this a little later on in the game, the first time I fought a Lionel, and it just smoked me, just killed me in 2 hits. I came back with a defense boost on me, and those same hits that just crushed me earlier on, actually really protected me and made me able to defeat the Lionel. So between the attack boosts and the defense boosts, those are, in my opinion, some of the best elixirs and foods you can make in this game, and you'll see me use them a lot later on in the game.
It's funny that you bring up Lionels, because I know you kind of talked about how you used a lot of elixirs at the beginning and throughout the game. I really didn't do that much with the elixirs, but one part where I did find out okay, you do have to use elixirs is what you just said, Lionels. Those
Yes.
Lionels, they will kick your butt no matter. Well, I mean, okay, you can get good at fighting them, and you don't have to use certain elixirs, and you can probably do it without using any elixirs after a little bit of practice. But at first, those things will kick your butt. So I went in with a bunch of elixirs against those things, and the Lionels, in my opinion, are by far the hardest enemy / boss / mini boss
Whatever
in
you
this
wanna call
game. Yeah. Now, why I use bossy for mini boss is beyond me. I don't know.
It's all good. Well, I don't know why I keep trying to climb these stupid cliffs when it's raining. I guess I'm a slow learner. We've spent the last 2 parts watching me fail to climb in a thunderstorm, and here I am once again trying to climb up the side. I think we're on the Dueling Peaks right now, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm trying to climb up the side of the Dueling Peaks in a storm, and I just keep sliding right back down all over again. So apparently I'm just a really slow learner when it comes to this game.
Red, let's be honest with ourselves, because I had this same issue. It's not that we're slow learners, it's that we're stubborn. Okay, we were sitting there. I know exactly what it is. I knew that it would not work, but I sat there and I kept on telling myself, you know what? Okay, it's not raining as hard as it was last time. And if I
Yeah.
can make it to this edge, I can get a little bit of my stamina back. It had nothing to do with us being slow learners. We know we aren't slow learners. We have college degrees. It had
We do.
everything to do with us being stubborn. And no matter what the elements told us, we kept thinking we could still do it.
We did. It's just how we are. It's we will continue trying and trying, banging our head against the wall. We will eventually overcome it, though. But thankfully, I will. There are actually 2 shrines up at the top of the Dueling Peak stables. I think I already have one of them pinned with one of the markers. But it's going to be a long time before I come back and actually complete those shrines. It's kind of one of those things. It's I didn't feel like I could climb all the way up there and get to it at this point. So it's
You really
something
don't have the
I
stamina
basically-
for that, so.
Exactly, and I knew that later on in the game I always knew where they were. The Dueling Peaks were easy to spot. We always knew where they were in the game. So I knew I could come back to them at any point in the game. So it is a long, long time before I come back and actually climb to the top of the Dueling Peaks and actually get the 2 shrines, which honestly are two more interesting shrines in the game. But that's a story for much later in this video series.
And kind of going behind the scenes, we can kind of talk with you now. As Red, I think, is like recorded like 53 parts, and they're all like approaching an hour. So as you see, we're only like on part 29. We have a lot more material after this, but so we kind of know where we're at in the game. And like Red and I, like behind the scenes, once again, we really didn't know exactly what we were going to do with this game. Like, was he just going to like play? Was Red going to play whatever, and then go fight Ganon whenever? And then we kind of decided, like, as he beat the 4th Divine Beast, which we've already kind of talked about those. So it's a little bit of a spoiler if you didn't know, but everybody should really know about that. We kind of decided that we are going to do all the shrine quest, all the shrines basically, which incorporates the shrine quest, and then all the side quests before we fight Ganon. So we're going to really try to do, almost everything. We might not get every treasure chest and every shrine.
No, we will not.
We're definitely not going to do all 900 Korok seeds because even eliminating which ones you have and don't have is a task upon itself. So kind of just want to let everybody know we're going to do basically everything but the Korok seeds in this game before we fight Ganon.
And it's something interesting though, because I remember when we did our Wind Waker Let's Play video series, we didn't get anywhere near to 100% of anything in that game.
No.
There were a lot of treasure chests and things like, or heart pieces, things like that we left behind. And that's a discussion we really didn't have when we were just so excited to get this game.
Well, we were using old recording software at that time.
That's true. Well, we were just so excited to get this game and to actually get Switches on launch day, which some people are still having a hard time finding, that we didn't really plan out what we were going to do until we really got, like I said, we got to a point where we had to make a decision. Once we got to where we could go fight Ganon, or we could, explore around a little bit more, try to get as close to 100% as we could. We'll get the major stuff, and I think we made the right choice. So this video series, like the last couple parts, or there's going to be a chunk of parts where it's nothing but finding shrines.
Well, everybody, everybody knows and expect that, but I guess what we're trying to say is there's going to be a lot of parts of this video series. When we get done with commentary, who knows? I'm sure, well, actually, I know we're probably going to have to take a break from it at some point just because it'll get stale. It'll get stale at some point. We'll have to take a break from it, but we're going to have a lot of Breath of the Wild videos like going into the future, and it's just going to take a while. Now, in the meantime, we're going to have rankings and other things like that
of course,
we're kind of going to work on. So just I kind of want to go behind the scenes for a little while. Just tell everybody, hey, we're going to do everything because, let's be honest, we're in our lives, they're a little bit busier than they used to be. So we know we're never going to go back and record this game again. So we're going to try to get as much of it as we can.
Well, I'm glad we went a little off topic behind the scenes because it means we didn't have to talk about me running away cowardly from the Stone Talus there. The Stone Talus, they are tough enemies.
They've
got a weak spot like that gray stone you can kind of target on their back. But there's also several different types of them. I think there's a Frost Talus and a Fire Talus as well throughout the game. So it's like, I do like how they have some variety with the mini-bosses. Even like though they're all Taluses or whatever you want to call it, Tali.
Well, you got the Hinox too.
Yep, you've
got
the different kinds of Hinox. You got the different colors of Lynels, so it's like... But yeah, I decided that definitely at this point in the game I was not ready for it, but I was ready to take out this Bokoblin camp, though.
Yeah, you were doing some sweet damage with that metal block, and that one you dropped on that Bokoblin's head, that was
perfect.
A perfect drop because you really can't always tell. Well, I mean, it kind of has the blue circle, like so you can kind of tell how far away it is, but
yeah,
you couldn't like from the angle you're at, you really couldn't see it that good. So I wasn't sure if you were straight above that Bokoblin or not. But that was a sweet drop, and then swinging it around, and then dropping on those bombs. I mean, that was a good 30 seconds of gameplay right there, Red.
Hey, we don't get too many of those, but every now and then we like to call out the good with the bads.
Well, I mean, as you're going through this game, I can see you getting better and better with your gameplay.
Now, this giant tree stump, I would have loved to have seen how big this tree was and what it looked like before it became just a stump. But I guess just seeing it here in the middle of this, swamp or bog or pond, whatever you want to call it, puddle, I really thought that there would be something in there. Like the fact that we could go in there, there were those steel or whatever the crates are. I thought there would be something in there, and I was a little disappointed. Yeah, I was a little disappointed that there was really nothing in there. I thought maybe there'd be a shrine or a quest or something in there, but what can you do?
Like I said, like at least the Korok. See, I don't know if you heard me or not. Sometimes we're talking over each other. We can't always hear each other when we're doing this remotely. But one thing it kind of reminded me of was actually Skyward Sword and the tree in Skyward Sword, because if you remember, we actually went up into that tree. So in a way, it was a little bit hollow, and that tree right there had a little bit, of hollowness, if that's a word to it. But anyways, this will go ahead and wrap up part 29 of our Let's Play series for Breath of the Wild.